Buongiorno, friends. I'm still in Italy. I'll be here till August 18th. Thank you for joining for this next Bhagavad Gita lesson. I want to try to keep them going while I'm traveling. Let's start with our slow, deep breath. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Shanti. This is episode number 142. Instead of the devil made me do it, this is called the divine made me do it. And we'll have one more week on the 9th verse of the 3rd chapter. I read it to you. Sri Krishna says, "The world is imprisoned by action, unless it is done as a yajna. Therefore, Arjuna, make all your actions an offering, free from anxiety over the results." Last week we spoke about this term, yajna. It's a sacred, selfless action motivated by a higher source rather than the ego. Yajna goes beyond good action. A good action with a small g is done with the consciousness that I'm acting as an individual doer. As I speak to you now, if I'm functioning on that level, then this action is going to leave its mark, hopefully a positive one. However, a yajna leaves no trace. It's good with a capital G. There's an awareness that a higher power is using our body-mind for its purpose. We may not know the purpose. Still, it's our job to simply put our full focus, our whole heart, into the task in front of us. Because yajna is so antithetical to how the ego normally functions, last week's homework assignment asked us to be vigilant as our capital good action is brought down to a notch, to a small g good action. And I believe this is what Jesus was alluding to when he said the left hand shouldn't know what the right hand has done, or one of the hands shouldn't know what the other hand is doing. I believe that unless we have some experiential sense of the fullness within ourselves, it's not really possible to truly and purely perform yajna. No matter how selfless we try to be, the sense that something is missing will keep forcing us to at least nibble a little bit on the fruit of the action. When we're dwelling in our fullness, it doesn't take any effort to give up the fruit of the action. We forget to even look for it. I want to end with two quotes, one from the great, late spiritual teacher Eknath Vishwaran. Let me find that quote. "Why does selfless action lead to self-realization? It is not a matter of good action being divinely rewarded. Self-realization is not some kind of compensation for good deeds. Selfless work purifies consciousness because there is no trace of ego involvements. New karma is not produced. The mind is simply working out the karma is already accumulated." And the other quote I found is from the nurse Florence Nightingale. Turns out she's an English lady, but she was born not too far from where I am now in Florence, Italy. And she said this: "If I could give you information of my life, it would be to show how a woman of very ordinary ability has been led by God in strange and unaccustomed paths to do His service. If I could tell you all, you would see that God has done all and I nothing." She really got to that place of G with a capital good G. So the homework assignment is similar to last week's. Let's see what it takes to move closer to a capital G good in all our actions. Thanks for joining. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.